right, everyone. Let's see here. Let me get my text to speech working. We didn't do that yesterday. Oh, you have the microphone switch. Music's on. Last but not least, microphone.
Michael's Adventures 4261 says good morning.
Hey Michael, how are you? Good morning. The snow. Yesterday it was coming down. Today it's just cold. How are you? How's Emily doing? Put that there. All right, I think we're good. We've got 3 deliveries. They're all in the van, so we just make one big circle today.
Michael's Adventures 4261 says I need a AP. At Michael's Adventures 4261 says nap.
Oh, I was going to say, what is AP? You need a nap? Yeah. You didn't sleep much last night? Is this early for you? I guess it is. Usually you're doing Emily late. I'm trying to get my sleep schedule a little more regular. Here we go. All right, let's see. We got 15 degrees. It's nice and warm here in Hampstead at 15 degrees. Let's turn this light on. The roads are not bad down here, but it did snow again yesterday afternoon, a little bit, and it was kind of a powdery snow, so there are some slick spots out here and there.
Michael's Adventures 4261 says 25 here.
Really? That sounds warm to me. Wow, I would have expected it to be colder there. Yeah, it is supposed to warm up today to a little bit above freezing, so that would be good. Get some of the snow. Well, get the roads dried up and get the snow melted a little bit. Sidewalks and stuff. Because people didn't really go out yesterday after the it wasn't even an inch of snow yesterday afternoon, but it was just enough to cover everything, and it was so cold that it landed and it didn't melt, so it was kind of like a little dusting over everything. But yeah, I'm trying to go to bed at like 8:30. I haven't made it to 8:30 yet. I've made it to like 9:30. But it's enough. I think I was probably about an hour yesterday. I took a nap yesterday afternoon. It's cold though. I looked at the forecast. It looks like it's going to be okay today, and I think tomorrow maybe another couple of days. But then next week, or later this week, I bet, rather. Later this week, it's supposed to get down into the 20s and kind of stay there. Like, it's not getting warmer during the day. On my way to the bakery this morning, I was following this truck. And every time we came to these traffic circles, I guess it had grain. You kind of see into the back of the truck from behind. And every time we got to the traffic circles, as it turned, the truck was like leaning way over to the right. It's pretty crazy. There must be a bunch of snow coming off the top of this thing ahead of me. Did you get any snow yesterday, Michael? I would think that you did.
Michael Craycray says good morning.
Good morning. How are you doing? We're doing a cold drive this morning. Oh, no, wait a minute. It's warming up. We're up to 16 degrees now. Might have to take my jacket off. Cold but dry. That's a good thing.
Michael Craycray says just opened my eyes law.
What time is it? It's 5:30. I've been up since 2:30. It's my normal wake up time. Well, good morning then. Welcome to Monday. It's Martin Luther King Day. Happy Martin Luther King Day. I think that means government offices and stuff. I guess the post office. I guess we don't get mail today. I don't know about banks. I guess banks are closed. I think the stock market is.
Craycray says what kind of bakery items do you deliver? Happy MLK Day.
I have, let's see, I have 3 different stops. And so the first one is a deli. They get a lot of Danish, so I've got Danishes, a couple of cakes, cookies. They like these chocolate top cookies. I think I have 50 of them today. So they're like it's like a sweet bread kind of cookie with like just chocolate, it's this thick chocolate icing on top. They're pretty good. So they're cookies, cake, Danish. They get a couple of donuts. They don't go big on donuts. I think the donuts they get, the employees probably eat them. And then the second place I'm going to is like it's a market cafe kind of place. It's called Gourmet Girls. They're getting eclairs. They also get a lot of cookies. And Sometimes they get cake, but they're not having any. They're not getting any cakes today. And then the last place I go is What a Day Cafe. They get a lot of donuts. Usually they're in the like 100 to 120. Today's a little lighter. I think we're like 80. But and then what else do they get? They
333 says, do you make them? Eclairs are yummy.
Yeah, I like it. Eclairs are good. Eclairs are good. I don't make them. No, it's my sister-in-law's sister and her husband are the ones that own the deli, and so I started doing that. I started driving for them last fall, and so I do help them out. Like I'll do dishes and stuff, like whatever they need me to help out with. But I don't make anything. I try not to eat too much either. The rule in the bakery is that you can eat anything, all you want. Like, they have no limit to what you can eat, which is insane. But I try not to do it because once I start, I get in trouble. And the thing is, it's like they've got these tubs. These giant tubs, buckets, I guess is a better word for it. These large buckets of like cookie dough and icing, cream, the cheese that you have on a cheese Danish, all that stuff. They're buckets full of it. You wouldn't believe how much stuff they sell. And it's a local bakery in Hampstead, Maryland. But I look at that bucket of cookie dough.
At Nigel 333 says tasty.
Yeah, it's pretty good stuff. It is pretty good stuff. And even when you walk in and you kind of smell it, because there's always something that's always baking. Something's in the oven. The donuts and stuff it always smells good. I thought that was going to be a salt truck or a garbage truck. This is the normal weekday flow of traffic. So most of the people on this roadway, we're going south from Hampstead. Hampstead's like northwest of Baltimore City. So sometimes there's quite a line of traffic in this road. It moves pretty good. Like it's never really too slow, but it can be very heavy traffic on a weekday morning headed toward Baltimore. Because we're about from here to Baltimore, downtown Baltimore would be 20 miles, maybe a little bit more than 20 miles, maybe 25. I have to clean that windshield. in that windshield when we get to Lenny's. I might break down and do the wipers with the washer, like try to wash them with the wipers, but you never know what you're going to get with that because it might just make it worse. I mean, it's not bad at all for me, but I know sometimes the camera picks up if there's anything on the windshield at all. The camera will pick it up.
333 says my favorite donut is glazed.
Really? That's just the basic glazed. That's
333
the
says
classic.
what is your fab?
Mine. I actually it might. We don't have them. You know what? I'm going to do an awful thing here. I'm going to tell you what. If I go to Dunkin' Donuts, you know the ones that are like, forget what the name, crawler? Is that what they're called? Crawlers? I don't know how. It's very flaky. It's kind of like, that's my favorite kind of just light, because it's kind of light. It's sort of close to a glazed. It doesn't have any doesn't have icing or filling or anything. It's just a basic, classic kind of donut. But cream filled is good. I mean, if I was going to eat it, now that's like just my go-to donut. I think that's how you say it, crawler.
333 says crawler. Yes, it is my second favorite.
Yeah.
Third is Boston cream.
Oh yeah. See, that's where the donuts at the bakery. That's probably what I would go with, Boston cream. And they stuff these things. I mean, they are not. They don't hold back on the cream. You know how sometimes you get a donut and it's like you bite into it, you got to get 3 bites in before you get any cream. That is not the case with these donuts. They do all kinds of things. They had like they've got a lot of toppings that people like. And they have a snickerdoodle. They have all kinds of stuff. Oreo crumbs on top. I should show you if I get to if you're still on when I get to Lenny's, I'll show you some of them look like. The cheese Danish is unbelievable too. And key lime pie. For some reason, the key lime pie, they make a key lime pie that is just really good. Now, is this your normal? Is this your normal wake up time? This is early.
Well, 333 says yes, cheese Danish is tasty. Anything cheese. Michael 333 says now I'm hungry.
Yeah, me too. Guy's gonna come over.
Michael 333 says sometimes I get up early and days off I work nights.
Ah. Well, this is very early for you were working nights. I have to like try to be consistent with my. I don't like to change my schedule. Like even on days when I'm off, I still get up super early. Okay. Yeah, come on over. Welcome to the left lane.
Michael 333 says days off is random wake ups.
Yeah. Well, I think most people. Oh, that was good. That was a good move. I mean, I think most people sleep in a little bit on their days off. I just
Michael 333 says, but I do work tonight for the holiday 9P9A.
Ah. Truck is going faster than I thought it was. So are you going to nap sometime during the day? 6 miles, 6 minutes. This traffic is moving pretty good.
Michael 333 says yes, I'll try to sleep during day. I love sleep.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah, my plan for today is to try and, like, I'm probably going to finish the deliveries, probably about 7:30, 7:30, I think. Work at the bakery, and I'll probably work at the bakery for a few hours. But then, yeah, my plan is to take a nap. So I got to catch up a little bit. Get in John's chat in the afternoon or evening, and then the next thing I know it's like 9 o'clock.
Michael 333 says naps are lovely. Snuggle up like a taco.
Especially in the winter, you know? Like I'm not as likely to do that during the summer because there's always something you can do outside, but in the winter, plus, you know, I have a dog, AJ, and, you know, they sleep frequently throughout the day, so that always influences what I'm doing.
Says all what kind. I used to have 2 pugs named Milo and Otis.
Oh, yeah, I had an aunt that had a pug. His name was Fenwick. He was a cute little guy. I've always had Shelties, which are and Shelties come in a very small size sometimes, like, but mine are always like medium-sized dogs. Like AJ is actually probably 50 pounds. He's pretty big for a Sheltie. His mom was big. I had him. He was a puppy of
333 says they were bonds.
Yeah. Yeah, I had AJ when he was born. I had both of his parents. So I had the mother and the father, and then she had 7 puppies, and I kept one. Be careful in this overpass. This thing gets slick. Actually, there are... that was when I posted a whole bunch of videos to YouTube 10 years ago when AJ was born. They're still out there. There's like a little group of my videos. I think there's a playlist out there with all the puppy videos. But that was when AJ was born. Try to clean this windshield. Let's see what happens. We're not far from the deli, so if this really screws up, whoops. Where's the thing? Here we go. There we go. Here we go. Watch out. See, you know what happens when it's this cold out? The windshield wiper is so that's awful. See, the windshield wiper is so stiff that it doesn't really wipe properly. I thought that was going to happen.
333 says you got my eye.
This light turns green over there. All right. I'm going to try. Don't ever do this in real life. That help? Not really. I'm gonna have to put some Windex on that, for crying out loud. I think I made it worse. Okay. Drive. All right, let's pretend that didn't happen. I travel with Windex, so we're going to be all right once I get to Lenny's. Actually, you can't see it, but the window in front of me is even worse. Because I think like the wiper blade has probably got ice on it or something, so it didn't really. I knew that was going to happen. That's why I didn't do the wipers.
Well, 333 says it looks clean.
Well, it's very kind of you to say that, but it really looks a little smudgy to me. So, like, you shouldn't see all those. You can always tell because when the headlights are coming or anything like that, you get that flared out look. Here we go. We're almost to Lenny's. Parking lot's got like a little icy glaze over it. So let's see if I can get in there. Get the donuts situated first, and then we'll worry about the window. Throwing salt down, that's good. Gotta knock. They will come let me in. Let me in! Good morning. How are you doing?
Good.
Good, good, good. Happy Monday.
Yes, sir.
That's right. We're in the deli, ladies and gentlemen. We're in the deli. Can I get my rack? It's kind of chilly out there today. It's kind of cold out today. But yeah, you're right. So what I do is I come into the deli and I grab this rack, this rolling rack. So I can load the trays Prop this door open. So I don't know if you hear that, but that rattling noise is the tray, is the rack. No way you didn't hear that. All right, here we go. All right, let me get that done. Here, I'll show you some donuts. Take a minute for that.
Still 333 says can hear it.
You can. All right, here we go. Watch. I will show you the donuts, but you're also going to see. So that's the deli. And then this is the rack that I just grabbed. So I roll that out, load it up with, there's some cakes, and then the trays that you see on that rack in there, that's what's going in to Lenny's. And then they don't get so many donuts, but so this, see what I mean? Like they put all kinds of toppings on these donuts.
333 says, oh my goodness, these truck designs.
Look at the those donuts that are like the fourth row back. That's like Fruit Loops or something are on them. I don't know. Never had them, but cinnamon buns, danishes, croissants.
333 says, wow, amazing.
So that's what goes to the last place that we stop. All right, let me put you back in the van. I'm going to put you back in the van, and then I'll load up that rack and roll it in. And then the last thing we're going to do is clean that window off, because that is a mess. Now, when I'm not in the van, I can't hear you. You can hear me because I got the mic on me, but I can't hear you. So if I appear to be rude, it's not on purpose. Yeah, they get, I forget how many Danish they got today. Like maybe, oh, it's probably in here. 45, yeah, they got 45 Danish. Ah. 6 eclairs. Cupcakes. Oh yeah, cupcakes. I forgot to mention the cupcakes. All right. What's that? Now we get to roll this into the deli. It's like a little fun ride for the Danish, you know? I'm sure they're having fun in their little Danish way. Good morning. How are you? Yeah, I appreciate that. If you can check, that'd be great. The deli, I'm in the deli. I like their coleslaw. They have good coleslaw here, among other things. For checking. All right. Use the trees. Come back to the bakery. Oh. I got these new shoes that are supposed to be skid or slippery resistant or whatever. Because I walk through these kitchens. The bakery's not too bad, but some of the kitchens that I walk through are really kind of slippery.
CS2 says air copy NY and Craig.
Oh, all right, I'm back now. I'm back in the van. Sawyer, what are you doing? How are you? All right, let's go. Where's my key? Where did I put the keys? That's not them. It's my keys. That's my car. Here we go. We just finished our first delivery. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Okay. See if I can get my music.
Sticat.cs2 says Craig. You didn't let the donut balls roll away, did you?
No, they didn't roll today. They were, you know why? Because, like, I guess with the snow and the salt and stuff, the wheels weren't quite as free to roll. All right, let me turn that. Okay, here we go. So, delivery 1 is done. Now, this is surprising, right? Maybe they're closed for Martin Luther King Day because no, I don't think they're closed. Maybe people are just celebrating. This is the gym, which was super crowded. Like when we drove through here the first week of the year, it was super crowded, and now there's nobody in there. Like, I actually heard on the news that most people keep their New Year's resolutions for about 2 weeks.
says rolled into my mouth. I would love to sit in the back of your van and eat all the goodies LMAO.
I'm sure you would. All right, you know what I'm going to do? Hold on. Clean the windshield. I forgot to do that. Hold on. Let's see if hopefully the Windex isn't still frozen, is it?
Sticat.cs2 says NY.
It is frozen. Oh, you know what? No, I've got my own. I need Windex that isn't frozen. There we go. That's going to be better. I think. Maybe not. I never really liked cleaning windows, and now
333 says I'll leave a good tip lol, just lock me in.
I still have the donuts. I think oh no, there are still some eclairs in there too. How's that look? Is that better? I think that's better. You can't you know what happens? You kind of start cleaning it, and if you go outside the circle that you've been working on, picks up some dirt. I don't know. I think that's better. I think. Maybe I should close the side door. That's a good idea. All right. Here we go. I think that's better. Ought to last at least 5 minutes. All right, here we go. Doors are closed. Doors are closed. Donuts are stabilized. Here we go. Six pack. Look at that. Get right up with that green light. I like that. Last night during John's live stream, were you there when he drove through Raleigh with all green lights? He hit all these green lights. That's always
333 says I have never seen a window more clean. You would look at mine in shame.
Well, if you looked at this one, you would actually not be so impressed because it's only that one area. The rest of it looks a little less clear, but I'm not using the windshield wiper again. I'm surprised there's nobody in that gym now. I mean, the last couple weeks it was packed. So maybe it's because it's super cold. If people looked out their window, if they woke up and looked out the window, there was snow on the cars because the little bit of snow we got last night was enough to cover everybody's windshields and stuff. So I could see why that would kind of make you think, oh, all right, I don't think I want to go out. But I am surprised.
Cat.cs2 says short hours at the gym because of MLK.
Yeah, that's true too. Because I guess there could be a lot of people that don't have to work today. It's cold out there. Well, we're up to 19 degrees. It was 15 degrees when I left the bakery.
Michael333 says Prav working out from home.
Yeah, that's what I do. I don't go to the gym anymore. I used to be a gym person a long time ago. And then I started to buy my own stuff, like free weights and a few benches and stuff. Eventually I just had everything I needed at home. So I was one of those people that had a gym membership but never went. So after
Cat.cs2 says yeah and why.
Oh, look at this. Welcome. Come on over. slightly rude. Almost there. This cafe, which is called Gourmet Girls.
Cat.cs2 says you have a walking pad at home, Craig.
I do. I have, that's where I really spend most of my time. Because I have the computer and I use the TV as my computer screen, so I can watch TV, I can do stuff on the computer. And I don't walk really fast, because if you're typing, you can type but you can't write. Like if you're walking at a walking desk, at a treadmill desk, I guess what they call them, you can't really write, but you can certainly type. Still got a lot of snow covering the parking area here. All right. Let me go see if the door is unlocked. It probably isn't. They haven't been unlocking the door lately. I don't blame them. Let's see. Nope. Alright, this is the boxes. A couple of trips with boxes in this one. So, alright, I think you're going to lose the audio when I call them, so just hang on 1 second. I think they don't want to come back. I think you lose me, you lose me. I think I lose you, however you want to say that. Our connection drops when I'm, excuse me, when I'm in here. There's the eclairs. Everything else goes to the front.
333 says I had a barbell set but gave it to the movers. Have free weights now.
Now, I heard what you said. I'm not going to be able to hear your answer because I'm going in here. But, well, free weights barbells are considered free weights. You mean like dumbbells? I think you mean, like, do you have dumbbells? Don't answer that yet because I can't hear you. All right, I might lose you. All right, the mic might drop because I'm about to walk into a refrigerator.
Yeah.
Hi. We got one more. Oh, it's cold out there. Okay, so I got today. Have a good day, ladies. Okay. Yeah, I think you guys have what I have. I mean, I do have a barbell, but I also have like the little set of, dumbbells. I think they're called dumbbells. It sounds like a bad thing to call something, but I think that's what they call them. And I got one more thing I'm going to do here. I'm a little. I know I'm getting a little weird about this, but I just. What is that called? OCD. Okay, this is going to be it, bro. I promise. I promise. I could clean the whole window, but that would be ridiculous. Okay. All right, I'm happy with that now. I'm happy.
Stacat.cs2 says, is it just a one-piece weight and why?
Is it just a one piece? That's not for me. Okay. All right, so our second delivery's done. We're off to Eldersburg, Maryland.
Pull 333 says, yeah, dumbbells, depth size, weights, no bar.
All right, we gotta go around the other way. Yeah, and I have like each weight, like 5, 10, 15, 12. I think it goes up in different increments. At the lower level, it's like 8, 10, 12, 15. But I've also seen those.
Stacat.cs2 says, K, sorry, I'm still asleep.
Me too. No, not me. I'm up. I am up. I've also seen those weights where you really just have one, well, not one, two, one for each hand, but you can adjust the amount of weight that is on that one dumbbell, I guess is what you would call it. We give a clip, so it only, when you lift up the weight, it only.
333 says, I'm still in bed, lol.
Geez, everybody's in bed but me. See, there's a lot of ice on this road. I don't know if you just saw that. But this is a very icy road, actually. Not liking this. Because once you hit ice, there's nothing you can do. These people are freaking out. Rightfully so, I think. Look at this guy. See him on the side of the road soon. He's gonna be like, why are all these dripping? Ah!
Michael 333 says it's 18 here, real fuel 11 bird.
Yeah. I'm 19. I mean, that's pretty cold. So even roads that have been treated for snow, I think a lot of them will freeze up at these temperatures. And then, like right now we're on a bridge. Saying no, that's probably frozen over there. The other thing you have to keep an eye out for when you're driving is like the other people, you know. Like even if you're fully aware of the ice, if somebody comes along, like right here.
Cat.cs2 says be careful driving, Craig. NY and I are precious cargo. Lol.
Well, yeah. I mean, think if I had an accident, donuts flew out the door. You know, like those truck accidents where they're hauling like, I don't know, some kind of food. All right, that's good. We're good. It's not that bad, but there were sections of the road back there that were really icy. You could see it shining. Black ice.
Michael 333 says I'm safe, I am in the back, happy as a clam, noom noom.
Eating a donut, or a Danish, or an eclair.
Cat.cs2 says ya NY just eating all the goodies. At Michael 333 says black ice is no joke.
I know. And the thing
Williams 3137 says I would be the first to stop and help clean up donuts.
Yeah, somehow I don't think they'd all make it back into the van. In that. Doesn't look like they.
Cat.cs2 says lol at Don Williams 3137.
Doesn't look like they really treated this road. I mean, this is from yesterday afternoon. Because we had pretty sunny weather after the snow. It snowed in the morning, and a pretty decent amount, an inch maybe 2 inches. But then most of that melted, and the sun was out, so it was starting to look pretty good. And then another snow, I guess you would call that a snow squall. A snow squall came through. It was a snow squall, and it affected us all. There was actually an accident in front of my house. I live on a street that goes back into the neighborhood, and I was actually on the treadmill online, and I heard like a crashy kind of noise. And I went out and looked out my front window, and boom, there they were. Somebody slid right into the side of another car. It's never a good way to end your day. Not a good way. Not a good way. Yep. Speed hump. Oh, yeah. Oh, look at this deer. Do you see that? Look. He's limping. Aw. Poor guy. See that? He's got antlers. I feel bad. I feel bad for him. Did you see that? Poor little guy. Now I'm sad. He's cold and he's limping. Is anybody else crying right now? That was sad.
CS2 says off poor thing.
I
At
know.
Michael333 says off poor thing. A buck.
Yeah. Oh, that poor little guy. Well, the least I can do is make him famous. I'm making a short. Everybody. Poor little guy. He's not suffering for nothing. He's going to be seen. That was sad.
Michael333 says turn around, call the vet.
You know. Oh, there you go. Yeah, don't worry. Go ahead. It's not the way circles work, people. Well, you know, I would, but I can't picture myself walking back into the woods that he was walking into. I got donuts to deliver. I could have tossed him a donut. At least that would have helped, maybe. I mean, how many Fruit Loop top donuts has he ever eaten in his life? Not many. That was sad, though. I have to think happy thoughts for a minute here.
Michael333 says I know sad face. Haha, give him a cheese Danish law.
I could just throw a cheese Danish into the woods like a frisbee. Throw it toward him. Because I'm sure he's...
Williams3137 says bran muffin.
Oh, you want to keep him regular? Poor guy. I wonder if he got hit by a car. Or maybe just twisted an ankle. He's probably going to walk it off. He's going to walk it off. All right, everybody. Let's pretend that everything's okay.
Justicat.cs2 says K Bogey bugging me. Have to go. Have a good day, Craig, NY and Don. See you tomorrow.
All right. So have a good one. Enjoy your day. Stay warm.
Williams 3137 says bye.
Bye, bye, Miss American Pie. Drove my Chevy to the
Michael
lake.
333 says bye, just a cat. Have a great day.
Oh. All right, here we go. Here we go. You know, we're basically, I don't think we're technically in the city. We're probably still in what would be called Baltimore County. But where we just saw that deer is pretty close to the city. It's kind of odd to see him down here. It's a city deer. Been seeing a few of them lately. So now we are on this road it's called Liberty Road, and we're headed out. I guess this is northwest. We're headed northwest out of Baltimore. I mean, we really weren't in Baltimore, but direction-wise, we're heading away from Baltimore, northwest. More west than north, I think. Maybe? Yeah, I think that's right.
Michael 333 says, do you like living there?
Yeah, I do. I do. I mean, I don't really go into Baltimore City very much anymore. But when I was growing up, you know, we had Harbor Place was downtown, a lot of shops. Working downtown was pretty cool. I worked downtown for a long time. But I've always lived out in the suburbs of Baltimore. And yeah, I've always liked it. I've always liked it. It's kind of, you know, we're about 3 hours, 2.5 to 3 hours from the East Coast. So there's Ocean City, Maryland. So you go to the beach, or we're probably about the 2.5, 3 hours from the mountains. So it's a good location from that standpoint. About an hour from Washington, D.C. A couple hours from Philadelphia. So it's kind of a good location to be in. If you're, you know, if you like to visit places like that. I mean, growing up, you know, like all of those places were easy field trips. Washington, Philly. New York's a little bit further. New York's the best way to get to New York.
333 says, I've only driven through Maryland to get to Florida.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that. That's how, so you really don't get the best view. Like you're not, especially if you drive down through 95, it's okay. But, yeah, it's not the best view of Baltimore. You're not like, you know, really seeing much of the city. But that's how I picture Richmond, right? So like, that's the same thing I do. If I drive to Florida, I just drive through Richmond. I don't really spend a lot of time there. Although I did visit there. We had an office. One of the companies I worked for had an office there. So I did go down there a few times. But yeah, I used to go to New York a lot when I was working in the investment banking business. I always take the train though. The train is the best way to travel back and forth. I think it was only about an hour and a half, 2 hours if you get on the Amtrak. I don't know. I haven't been on a train for a long time, but Back then it was the Acela was the name of the train. And that was pretty cool. And for a while, I used to drive to New York once a month and pick up computer tapes, believe it or not. You know, like those reel-to-reel tapes that you used to see back in the early days of computers. They were like, well, they were bigger than an album, but sort of like shaped, you know, they were like a...
333 says I've been on a train to the city a bunch of times for old job. It broke down one time, I was scared lol.
Yeah. I never had a trouble with Amtrak, but I used to ride Baltimore has a subway line, and it can be scary. You know, they break down occasionally, and that was never a good experience. Plus, if they break down and you're trying to get home, that's frustrating because it takes a while to get home. The subway ride for me was about 20-25 minutes. So I was about 5 minutes away from the subway. It would take me 5 minutes to drive to the subway station, train station. And then it was about a 25-minute ride to downtown Baltimore. Yeah, there are a lot of interesting things that happen when you ride the subway a lot. I had a few pretty scary experiences. But Baltimore's subway system is really just one line. They have one line. It goes, fortunately for me, it goes out to the northwest suburbs, which is where I lived. Or where I still live. So I was only 5 minutes away from the station, but that's the only line they had. It goes straight into the city. It's above ground when it's out. I'm just waiting to get over that bridge. That bridge is bumpy and noisy. But the subway system in Baltimore, so it's above ground when it comes out of the city. But once you get into the sort of the busy city area, it goes underground. And but that's really all it's good for. It doesn't branch off into others. You know, like you can't go to the other sections of Baltimore. You got to get on a bus, or they have another form of transportation called the light rail. But it's unfortunate because they've got like all these different forms of transportation, but they don't connect very well.
333 says I love trains, but the old locomotives are my favorite.
Yeah. I agree. Real trains. We have a museum that It's called the B&O Railroad Museum. B&O for Baltimore and Ohio. I think it was one of the first railways that went out west. So it was taking, it was back in the heyday of Baltimore's port. But they have a pretty cool museum downtown in Baltimore, the B&O Railroad. So now we are entering Eldersburg, Maryland. I have a brother that lives out here. Wendy's. Wendy's is off to the right there. I stopped there for their grand opening, talked to the people. I haven't put that video out yet. I got to do that. But for their grand opening, they were giving away free food for a year. And I apologize if you've heard me discuss this before. I'm sorry, I'm going to repeat it, but because I just couldn't believe it. So I drove by on the day before the grand opening. I don't know if it was a Friday. I guess it was a Friday because I think their grand opening was a Saturday. And the sign, it was the first time I noticed, the sign said, hey, we've got a grand opening on, I think it was November the 1st. It was the next day. And the first 100 people were going to get free food for a year. Like, wow, that's pretty cool. I was like, I gotta tell everybody about this. And so I was really excited. And I'm trying to figure out, like, what does that mean? Like, how much food do you get and all this other stuff. And I'm figuring, oh man, I couldn't do it because I would be working. But I'm like, free food for a year. You wouldn't have to go to the grocery store for a year, is what I was thinking. But that's not how it is. So I stopped by the next morning to see, because I figured there'd be like 100 people there. I think the grand opening was going to be at 10:30, and I was driving by.
333 says free food for a year, sweet.
I know, right?
Their baked potatoes are so good in the Frosty.
See, I could eat that for a year. So I thought it sounded great, but when I got there, when I drove by, which was like 6:30, yeah, it was like 6:30 in the morning. I drive by, and there were only like 35 or 40 people. I'm thinking, this is weird. Like, I was expecting this to be one of those situations where they're there all night, right? Like, people started getting there at like 9 o'clock, midnight the night before because they were going to camp out. I mean, because free food for a year would be like insane. So I stopped there. I live streamed this, actually. I stopped there and I walked over to the people that were in line. And, there were a couple of people there with the lawn chairs out, and they were like camped out a little bit. But you still could have gotten there. There were not 100 people there, so there was still plenty of time for people to get there, which surprised me. But they said that the free food for a year meant that you could have one meal per week. One meal per week.
333 says I'll have to watch it.
I haven't put it out there yet. I'll put a comment on there when I do it. I haven't. It's in the live stream. I don't even know if that live stream is out there. because I pulled that. I was going to make the short little video about the Wendy's piece. But yeah, they got, well, not only. I mean, that's still a good deal. You get a meal a week for a year, but you couldn't survive off of that. Although one guy said he thought he could, but I don't think he could. So I took some cookies with me that morning. I dropped off some cookies. I talked to him for about 5 minutes at the most, and then I got back in the van and carried on. But it's still a pretty good deal. I think when I did the math, I don't remember how I broke all this down, but when I did the math, I figured that it probably cost Wendy's $50,000, something like $50,000. If you figure you get one free meal a week, and if everybody took advantage of that, all the 100, because it was 100 people. So if all 100 people ate a free meal once a week for a year, I don't remember how I came up with this number, but I remember thinking it was $50,000 is what it would cost Wendy's.
Cool333 says, yeah, that is still cool. Free Wendy's weekly.
Yeah, I mean that's a good deal. But that, it was a little bit of the whole sign saying you get free food for a year was a little misleading. It got me a little more excited than I needed to be, you know what I mean? All right, here we go. 6. So now we're at what a day. What a day. It's becoming a very famous brick wall. Look, the door's opening up. This is going to be a good day. All right. Let's go in. Let's go in. Well, I mean, audio. We're going to go in audibly, not video. Here we go. Good morning. How are you? I'm good. It's nice and cool out there. Basically, I do the same thing here. So I grab their rolling rack, bring it out to the van, and load it up. So this is where we say goodbye to the donuts. It's kind of sad. I mean, going to be eaten, so I mean it's a good thing, but I'm not sure how the donuts feel about it, you know what I mean? I know, I'm being stupid. There we go. I have to take, it's like the trays from the previous day's delivery. I have to go back to the bakery It's the circle of donuts. The circle. Circle. One of these days I'm going to eat one of these cinnamon buns. They just look too good. I'm going to have to not eat for 3 or 4 days before. Because they're big. They're big, but they're good. All right, we're back in. We're back in. Shh, everybody. All right. Thanks. Have a good day. Grab this. Just grab this paperwork. These trays, when you're sliding these trays around, I guess it's where the metal kind of rubs in the racks on the side and stuff. It's got like this black, it's just the metal, but it's, I don't know how to describe that, but it gets your hands marked up. Good. All good. I used to carry a towel with me for that. All right, deliveries are done. Deliveries are done. Do I want to get gas today? I think I do. We're a little bit above a quarter. It's Monday. Tomorrow's Tuesday. I don't know if they have. Sometimes they have after I do my deliveries in the morning.
Michael 333 says I'm making some hot cocoa.
That sounds good. Hot cocoa is good. And how are you doing that? Are you like hot water or hot milk and then you put that packet in it, like Swiss Miss, or is that what it's called? Swiss Miss? Swiss Miss. Swiss Miss. Is that right?
Phil333 says yes.
That's good stuff. You put marshmallows on it? Speaking of marshmallows, that's another. Earlier I was talking about how they have buckets of stuff at the bakery, like buckets of cookie dough,
At
buckets of icing.
Nigel333 says I use 2 packets cause I like it chocolatey white.
I don't blame you.
Phil333 says 1 packet is too watery.
Well, that plus I think sometimes I agree. I would do the same thing. But they also, I think they make those packets for smaller
says
cups.
yes, marshmallows.
Oh yeah, I love marshmallows. Whew. They have buckets filled with marshmallow at the bakery. I'm telling you. If I remember, when I was little, if I had walked into a bakery and seen a bucket full of cookie dough, I don't know what I would have done. I think I might have just passed out. I used to eat cookie dough. My mom used to give me even like when she was making a cake, I would eat the cake dough. And now,
333 says, so what's your plans the rest of day?
my plans are, whoops, my plans are, I'm going to be at the bakery until probably 11, maybe a little bit longer. But it's Martin Luther King Day, so the one guy that with that, kind of helping with dishes and stuff, he's off today because his daughter's, I guess, schools are closed. So I'm going to help cover for him. And then I'll probably go back. I say that I want to take a nap. Like I would like to get home, maybe take a 2-hour nap, kind of get a little caught up on my sleep. I say that, but I probably won't do that. Because when I get home, AJ wants to do something. He wants to play a little bit. He's my dog, by the way. I always feel like when I say AJ, people are going to think I'm talking about a person. But he's, so he'll want to play. And then I'll get on the computer probably. Because it's too cold. It's going to be cold today. Very cold. No, I'm sorry. That's not right. It's not going to be super cold today. It's going to be super cold after today. So I don't know. I think it's going to be like in the 30s. Maybe I'll go out and do something. I don't know. I think it's going to be sunny, so that'll be good. Trouble is, stuff around the yard, there's enough snow on the ground that, like, really not going to be doing anything in the yard. I have a few video projects I want to work on. What about you? What are you up to? Yesterday on this road, it was starting. It was starting to snow a little heavier as we were driving back yesterday, and came up on a car. Now the speed limit here is 55 miles an hour. It's funny, I just said that and we're about to pass a police officer on the side of the road. But we're under the speed limit at this point. I don't know why. But
Phil 333 says same cleaning, house duties, work tonight and sleep, hoping driving goes live today smiley face.
yeah, me too. I gotta admit, I mean, he does need a day off, but it is more fun when he's not taking the day off. I think that's a good idea. I think I should do that too. I should do some cleaning around the house. Because when it gets kind of wet, like it has been with the snow, he hasn't gotten too bad yet, but AJ tends to track in a little bit of dirt. He's not too bad though, actually. I guess it's because it's still snow. When it starts to melt and get a little muddy, that's when I had to mop almost on a daily basis. See all the cars that are going the opposite direction? We are going against the flow of most traffic in the morning. They are headed south. And so I don't know if it's most, but some of the traffic that is headed the other direction is probably some of them are probably going to Washington, or at least the suburbs, the Maryland suburbs of Washington. Because that's where this road is headed, down that direction. If you were going the other direction. We're headed north, they're headed south. Sun's coming up. That's a good thing. It is starting to get a little brighter a little earlier. It's not anything dramatic yet, but I have noticed the days are getting longer. There is hope. I guess we're a month into that now, right? The shortest day is around December 20th. So we're almost a month into the process of the days getting longer. So we're making progress. Time goes by so fast. I mean, really. Now we're coming up on a town called Westminster. That's where I'm going to stop and get gas. we're also not too far from Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. I mean, I think it's mileage-wise, it's probably 30. I feel like we passed a sign somewhere. Did we pass it already? Somewhere we passed a sign that says how far it is, I think. But I want to go out there one day. I'm going to wait until it gets a little warmer. Not with the donut deliveries. I can't be like, all right, I'm working today.
333 says, I love Gettysburg.
Have you been there? It is pretty cool. I used to take my bike out there, ride around. But I think that would be a cool live stream, or just a video to put together.
Michael 333 says, I've stayed at the Farnsworth and I think it was cold. It's amazing.
Yeah, it is pretty cool. They've got a lot of, you stay there, they've got a lot of like ghost, what would you call that? Some of the buildings and all that are supposed to be haunted, or that are supposed to have ghosts. I think maybe they just do that around Halloween, but I know they do have a lot of that.
Michael 333 says, I got the book of that hotel and all the ghost stories.
Yeah.
You definitely need to go.
I think that would be cool. I think you could get, and I've got to figure out whether this would be a copyright issue. Probably would be. So I might have to do it on my own, like my own little narration. But you can get, as you drive through the battlefield, you can have a recorded narrator kind of walking you through the whole trip. But that would be kind of cool. I just have to learn. I think I would have to probably do my own narration. I don't think I could. Use the whatever that is up there, the national parks. Oh, look, they're hiring.
Michael 333 says, that would be great. The battlefields are crazy and death haunted. I would be there and watch.
We went out there. My mother would take me out there with my brother. This place, one section is called Devil's Den. It's got like all these rocks and stuff. We'd climb all over the rocks and stuff.
Michael 333 says, have you ever been to Gatlinburg?
No. Where's that? Is that in Pennsylvania? Maryland? I don't think.
Michael 333 says, yes, been to Devil's Den. Death climbed on the rocks, smiley face.
Ah, then you know what I'm talking about. Devil's Den. What's the other one? Spangler Spring, I think, is another section.
Michael 333 says, Tennessee Gatlinburg.
Oh, yeah. No, I haven't been there. My sister-in-law just went there. I think she spent some in early December. She went there with her sister. She likes it. She's been there a few times, I think. What are we paying for gas now? $2.63 is their posted price, minus 15 cents for my discounts. All right. Oh, let me mention this. So we're probably going to lose the connection. You're probably going to be seeing the little spinning circle for a while. Hopefully it didn't start already. So just bear with me. I'll be back.
333 says it's lovely